There are so many massive games coming out next year, so many that, who knows, it might feel like a rerun of 2023. Hopefully all these games I've compiled are releasing this year. One or two of them are debatable. So here is a list of the top 10 games coming in 2025 that I'm most excited for. Coming in at number 10 is AVOWED. I actually wasn't planning to play this game, at least not at release, until the wave of previews came out for it, and they were glowing. Literally everyone was giving this game the highest praise ever, and hearing why got me really excited for the game. Everything about this game just seems really in-depth, like coming close to Baldur's Gate 3 in-depth. Conversations, character depth, and character choice all seem like they really strive to bring the world to life and let you lead the way for a really customizable character and playthrough. I've seen the movement praised a lot as well, while in combat and during parkour in the overworld. I've heard good stuff about the combat too, and I believe it, but I'm gonna have to wait to try it for myself before I get excited about that, because I don't know. AVOWED looks like it's gonna be a real hit for Obsidian and Microsoft, and I really can't wait to sink my teeth into it on my Xbox computer. Honestly, who isn't excited for this game? Everyone, their mother, and their mother's mother, and their mother's mother's mother are all lining up to play Clair Obscur Expedition 33 when it comes out. These trailers have really been selling me on this game. I'm a huge fan of turn-based combat, and we've never really seen it go mainstream unless it's in a game with a really stylized art style. Obviously except with like Yakuza, but this is obviously a very different game from Yakuza. There's definitely an upward trend with turn-based combat going on right now. They are getting more popular, and more games with it are coming out, and this is exactly the sort of game to bring even more success to the genre. But it's not all about combat. And I'm sure everyone else is as well, am really excited just to look at this thing. These environments are gorgeous and weird, but very gorgeous, and the UI matches it in a way that gets me excited the same way Persona does. It's got that super flashy, iconic look, and hopefully with an all-timer of a voice cast, like seriously, how did they get these people? These characters can come to life as much as the world does. I think this is going to be a really special game if everything goes right. There really isn't anything else like it, and I just hope it goes down well. If any of you saw the first video I ever made, you'll know that I've never truly been able to gel with Monster Hunter. But now, on my 17th attempt, I'm praying that this time will be it. A new game, which upgrades and builds on Monster Hunter World a stupid amount, surely has to work for me, right? I really hope so. Monster Hunter Wilds is making waves, not just in its franchise, but the whole industry. I can't believe that they have the tech to make a seamless open world with no loading screens anywhere. Like, that is a crazy concept for Monster Hunter. It's gonna be so cool. And with the extra tech they have, like the new dynamic weather systems, on top of that, just everything I've seen, properly screams next gen. And I know that sounds silly to say because we've been there for 4 years now, but you can't tell me this isn't really impressive stuff. I always get excited when I think about Monster Hunter because I will not give up until I finally get into it. I really hope this is the one though, but wow, if this is the game that gets me into Monster Hunter, I am never going to want to go back to play the older ones. I want to be there now, absorbing it all, but a couple months isn't too bad of a wait. Out of all the JRPG series that I haven't played before, the Trail series is a high priority for me. I did actually play 5 or so hours of Cold Steel 1, I really loved it, but something came up and I didn't continue. People told me I either had to start with that game, or more ideally Trails in the Sky, but now they're remaking that one, and I get to play the beginning of the franchise in modern glory. Trails in the Sky, the first, is a remake of the first game in the Trails franchise, and I can just tell I'm gonna love it just by looking at it. The graphics hit that perfect cel-shaded blend of vibrant fantasy that I love from a JRPG. I'm getting giddy from seeing some of the shots and animations in this trailer because I live off this style of game, and it's even more groundbreaking because you can seemingly play in either real-time or turn-based combat. I might be wrong about that, and maybe you use both at once, but if that's actually how it goes, this is going to be such a good game. I see propaganda for the main character Estelle almost every day, so I know I'm going to love her and her journey through literally the 100 games that follow. We'll have to wait a few years while Falcom remake the rest of the first trilogy, and it remains to be seen if I'll just play the second one before the remakes get finished, but either way, I'm going to properly introduce myself to Trails with this trilogy, and that is a huge win. You are hunting. Ghost of Tsushima has aged like the finest wine around. I loved this game an unexpectedly massive amount when it launched. Well, not when it launched, I didn't play it at launch, but I have never gone back to play it since I got the platinum for it, and every time I think about it, it seems sweeter somehow. It's left a really good impression on me, so when they announced the sequel we all knew was coming, Ghost of Yotei, I celebrated with a party with all of my relatives. I gave them a speech, we all laughed and cried and danced and shared spaghetti hoops. I don't know how, but Sucker Punch made me love spending time in an open world designed like a Ubisoft open world, and yeah, that line is overdone, but it's true. I don't know if it was the combat, the fact that the map wasn't overcrowded, or if it was the serenity of the game, but I wanted to stay playing this game even after I completed it. Ghost of Yotei looks to expand on the first game in every way possible. New combat, new mechanics and activities, new locations, new characters. Hell, I almost cared about the characters in Ghost of Tsushima, which is huge praise for an open world game. So I really want to see everything this new game has to offer, and just like Jin in the first game, you just know that the new protagonist Atsu is going to have extremely compelling writing, and I can't wait to see where that goes, to see where a new tale is spun with whole new moral dilemmas. Once again, a day one purchase for me.
Okay.
I'm still not sure if Fable is actually releasing in 2025. Xbox said it will, but it might not, since we have almost zero details about it, and it looks like one of the most ambitious games ever made. To be honest, I'm not even sure if it is a real game. We've had pretty much no gameplay for years, so there's a chance it's secretly a point-and-click adventure starring Vin Diesel. I mean, I can't say specifically where Fable gets me excited. Apart from the setting, cozy green fantasy is my jam, and if you take that setting and then push everything to its limits, you get what I imagined Fable to be. Every new trailer we've gotten makes it look like a pipe dream. I don't think any game is released with this level of graphical fidelity, with groundbreaking motion capture and voice work, apart from maybe Death Stranding, but even that's getting old. I don't know about the graphical bit. Fable looks like it's pushing every possible technical boundary while also being in a genre and setting that I love, and while we still basically know nothing about it, I can't help but think about how impressive this game could be. But hey, that's pretty much Playground Games' motto at this point. Two-player games are my absolute jam. I've played both A Way Out and It Takes Two, as well as some of the We Were Here series and some other miscellaneous ones, all with one guy, and every time we start one, it is so exciting for me. Split Fiction looks like an extremely impressive upgrade on It Takes Two. I wasn't actually sure what visual style Hazelight would be going for in their next game, but they are doubling down on the vibrant, kind of realistic looking look. I actually don't know how to describe it, because there is so much chaos in this game and in It Takes Two that I don't feel confident saying they're going for a realistic look for the game, you know? Either way though, it looks beautiful, and the game looks to be carrying on the mantra of It Takes Two and some other recent successful platformers, where they shove game mechanic after game mechanic into your face so quickly that you never want to stop playing, yet being so good at level design that each mechanic feels inventive and compelling in their own way. Even just from the trailer, every frame looks completely different in terms of location and whatever the hell you're doing in each of them. A game that looks as beautiful, yet as whimsical as this, and which also force feeds you fun things at the speed of Mach 10 is literally what I would dream of playing as a child. I really can't wait to get lost in the imagination of the developers and then cry because I have to wait another 4 or 5 years to play something like this, but hey, you better believe I'm playing as
Seekers of Redemption.
Absolutely no one expected Elden Ring Night Reign to be shown off at the Game Awards. Like, what a wild concept, a roguelike mode with random elements everywhere, and you can play with your friends. It's crazy. Crazy cool. I have never played modded Elden Ring, and I'm trying to get a PC soon, so I was thinking about installing some mods then, because randomness is something I really crave in gaming, but now I don't have to. FromSoft have made this amalgamation of multiplayer and classic mods with entirely new mechanics like flying and the Storm Circle, with some extra content of their own added too. I think they said something like 10 new Remembrance quality bosses were going to be added, which is mental. Everyone thought they'd be completely finished with Shadow of the Erdtree, that we wouldn't see a new Elden Ring boss, hell, a new Souls boss in a long time, but they had this in their back pocket after it seemed like they stretched themselves so much in Shadow of the Erdtree. I really just don't know how this company do it, man. I know that feeling of your first run, spawning in with your friends all together and exploring the same way we all explored the actual game for the first time 3 years ago. Oh, Jesus. It's all going to be so novel and fun. You already know why Elden Ring is good, and Elden Ring Night Reign looks to be some of the most fun you can have this year, and apart from any crazy shit happening in Marvel Rivals, go watch my review, this is definitely going to be the most multiplayer fun I and many of you will have this year. Now, I actually don't have a good gauge on how many people are excited for Skate's story. I think it's on many people's radars, but I also think a lot of people are missing out on this one, so I'll tell you about it anyway. I have never in my life looked at a game before it's released and thought that is gonna make me burst into tears uncontrollably at random points in time. This is that game. You should really go out of your way to watch some gameplay of this, even if it's just from the trailer I'm showing in the background, because my voiceover absolutely ruins it. Even just the experience of just you and the gameplay makes me feel deep, profound emotion, but the music, the way the game looks, the simplicity of the gameplay, the way the game sounds layered over the music, oh my god. Seriously, please go find some gameplay because I've seen it and I know this is genuinely going to be a Game of the Year contender for me at the end of the year. I'm not entirely sure what the structure of this game is. I know it involves a lot of short, rapid fire skating levels, which are designed with many different aims, I'm sure, because the creator is so passionate about skating, but what I like the look of is how it never seems to let you escape its own flow state. It drags you in, melts your ears with its soundscape, and then just lets you think in your own head, absorbing everything but also nothing at all, because the experience is just so surreal. The ideas presented, apart from skating, also just look so good, from the way you play as a demon who's made a deal with the devil, to the place you're in, to the boss fight with the literal moon. I cannot wait. Please come out soon. Trust me, I would have transitioned with the chorus of Uncontrollable playing and some crazy cool montage, but I'm saving that for an end of the year list. Maybe it's stupid to plan the games of the year when none of them have come out, but Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has a very good chance to be my game of the year, so I gotta save the cool moment for that. I'm like 99% sure we're gonna get a new 3D Mario this year, so to be fair, that does have a chance, but I don't know that exists yet, so right now, I think this will be it. I know it's a bit crazy to include an almost 10-year-old game on this list, but man, Xenoblade is my passion. And I would never be able to deny that this game is what I'm looking forward to the most this year. Xenoblade gameplay is unparalleled in the JRPG space, and from what I've heard about this game, it focuses a lot less on story and a lot more on gameplay, and while yeah, the story is a bit of a hit, I can't judge it yet, but if the gameplay is upgraded compared to the other games, then I don't quite know what I'm in for just yet. I just want to get in a mech, listen to the music, and fly around this stupidly gargantuan world. I purposely can't tell you much about this game, because I don't want to know anything really before I play it, but if you trust me, or Monolith Soft 2, then you know this is going to be a banger, and I'm super excited to try the new epilogue story, but probably only because I'm hopeless and have fully convinced myself it's a segue into the new games, or it's somehow some story continuation of the other games. I'm pretty sure I've seen somewhere that that is impossible, but they also said that this game was impossible, so who do I trust? Anyway, play this in March, or play the other games first, probably, if you haven't. This will be Game of the Year, unless Mario comes out. Who knows? See ya.